Alright, YouTubers. Well, I think I've had my camera long enough. I got a Memorial Day weekend after almost a year wait to get my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And in that time while I was waiting, I started buying pieces here and buying pieces there and using some pieces of parts that I've already had when I decided to get into filming from my Canon 70D full rigged out, plus the original Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. And this is what I got now, and I'm really happy with this rig that I built. I have no complaints out of it whatsoever. And well, let's start from the beginning of the front. Okay, I am running a MB600 right there, you can see it. And I got the two filters in it. I had to buy separately. It was a filter pack of 6. One is half as dark as the first one. The first one here is my darkest, so I can pull it out if I need to. And then the next one is the half darkness. Then I'm running these grips here that I bought. They were barely cheaper than some of the other ones out on the market. The ones I originally had for trying them out, they didn't work too well. They were super cheap. It was like $9 for them. But if you were standing still and they didn't have the rosetting that these have got in it, so once you lock that in, that thing stays tight as hell. It doesn't move. They would slip if you were moving, but if you stood still, they work pretty good. Next, I'm using a Canon 18 to 135 millimeter with a Valtrox EF to EFS adapter. Now, this is not a speed booster. The autofocus does not work on it, but you have control over manual focus, and the image stabilization is hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But when it does work, it won't show up in the camera, but you can see it in the video. And then I am using a Samsung T5 with a small rig mounting bracket mounted to, and I don't think you can see it with all the cables here, a Magic Rig cage that came with the NATO handle for $80. And that was a pretty goddamn good deal. Then I am using, and I ain't gonna try to pronounce its name, it's a 5-inch monitor. It's got its own built-in sunshade. And this thing is incredible. You can do dual batteries. You got DC in, DC out. Depending on your batteries here, you can power other stuff if you want. Now this one is just a touch screen because I didn't need the one that was a hell of a lot more, because I can send the LUTs from the camera to whatever little monitor that I'm using, whether it's 5-inch, 7-inch, whatever. Hell, even my newer 7-inch monitor that I got for like $130, I can send the LUTs to hit. But it doesn't do 4K. It will just still display your images, but it downscales it to, I believe, 1080p or whatever it is. And then next, I got these batteries here in a 2-pack. And I don't know their name right now. I'll eventually go and put the link to everything in it. But these 2 batteries, just the battery alone, if I power the monitor with its separate battery, I can get 2 hours and 20 minutes just powering the camera with this battery. And I got these in a 2-pack set for $43. Next is the battery adapter plate with the actual Blackmagic connector to it. And it was $45, but it has a DC out so I can power my monitor. Now if I run this battery to power the monitor and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, then I can get 1 hour and 20 minutes out of it. And I could probably stretch that to 1 hour and 30, but 1 hour and 20, the battery dropped down to 25%. It's got this little checker on top, which I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera or not. But you can check your voltage. Since the camera doesn't really show it, it just says AC. But you can push the little button there and it tells your 4 bars there. You got 100%, 75%, 50%, and 25%. I don't go below 25% because I don't know if that'll damage the batteries or not. but I also have the battery that came with Blackmagic Pocket 70 camera, and it's a Canon knockoff battery, but it's higher milliamp. I don't remember what it is right now, and it can go 45 minutes before it turns red. You can go 50 minutes and it'll turn red, but I don't have no mathematical time of when it actually shuts off. But if you're running this one here and you run it down below the 25% and this battery dies on you, and you're not running the dummy battery and running another battery in here, the camera automatically switches over and it still keeps running. So you can get another 40 minutes depending on what type of battery you've got, which isn't too bad. And I got a Tank Star mic on here. I really like these. They're really cheap. They have great audio quality. I don't know if you can see it here. I'm not going to zoom in. But you got your normal gain, and then you can bump it up a plus 10 on your gain. It runs on a single AA battery, which lasts forever. And these are the Dollar General Store batteries. So I can only imagine what you get with a Duracell or Energizer. And oh yeah, before we go here, I forgot. The base plate underneath it here is made by Small Rig, and my 16-inch 15mm rails are by Small Rig too. And I got them on all quick release plates, so if I need to run and gun, I can pull. I mean, this is completely modular. I can pull everything off here, slap it on my stabilizer, whatever I want to put it on. And that's why I went with those different brackets or quick release brackets, and they were really cheap. They were like $15, I think, at the time that I purchased it, so I don't know what it is now. Here I got to get some better cable management. Right now I just got some zip ties and stuff holding that in. Let me go over here. This piece here is a 3D printed shoulder rest with a 3D printed mounting bracket to it. Now the mounting bracket has a 12mm to a 15mm. So, and these are 8 inches. So if you print these out, and I'll put the link to this out if you want to do it. I did it at a 20% infill. And since Memorial Day weekend, I've been testing it, sitting it down. That's why I have these folded up here, because it sets flat and level on the ground. When you put these down to where you're actually going to hold it, you got your really good stable 3 points of contact. This does have some stress on it, but so far it's been holding up. I'm going to reprint it. I got to get some more black filament and reprint this at 100% along with the bracket. And I'm also, these are, like I said, only 8 inches on the 15mm rails. I'm going to go to 12 inches so I can extend them out and print 2 of the mounting brackets just to give it more stability where it doesn't flex. And of course this will pull off if you need to have the extra room. And onto the hand grip. Now this is originally for the left hand side, as you can see, where it's got the little finger groove. But due to all my cabling, it's really a pain in the ass to actually get a good grip on it. And it's made by the same company that makes these here. And I'll put the link for it in there. And the tripod is a newer. It's their heavy duty, professional, as they call it, grade tripod. It can support supposedly up to 25 pounds. This rig here, fully set up this way, weighs 1.5 pounds more than my Canon 70D fully rigged out. And I'll put that up on a future video. I just don't feel like putting it all back together and taking it out of the cases and protective boxes and everything right now. But yeah, I'm really happy with this setup.